Welcome back to yet another edition of Autocar India Quick News, your weekly pit stop for all the juicy scoops, news and launches from the world of automobiles.
But before we move on, if you are new to our channel, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and the bell icon to stay notified on the latest from us.
Let's start the proceedings with an Autocar exclusive. French brand Citroen is entering India and that opens up a whole world of possibilities for Jeep. How? Well,
Group PSA and Fiat Chrysler officially merged last month to create Stellantis, the fourth largest auto conglomerate in the world. PSA-owned Citroen is set to start its India innings very soon with the C5 Aircross, but the big volumes will come from the new compact SUV codenamed C21 that comes in 2022. Built on the CMP modular platform, the C21 is being engineered to strict cost targets and will boast up to 90% localization. And the big news is that Jeep could utilize the C21's modular CMP platform for its own compact SUV for India. The CMP-based Jeep will prove much more cost-effective than the long-touted Indianized Renegade that had a weak business case. The sub-4 meter Jeep SUV will be a petrol-only model like the Citroen, but given the limitations of the platform, it's possible the Jeep will not have 4x4 capability. You can check out a full analysis on the Autocar India website.
and now time for the big buffet of launches and announcements from the last week.
It was a busy week for MG Motor as they launched the 2021 update for the ZS EV. The electric car is now priced at almost 21 lakh for the base Excite variant and 24.18 lakh rupees ex-showroom India for the exclusive trim. This makes it up to 60,000 more expensive than the outgoing model, but the price hike is accompanied by a host of increments in the form of better claimed range, which is up by 79 km at 419 km, all thanks to a new but similar capacity 44.5 kWh battery pack. The ground clearance is also up 16 mm to 177 mm. With the update, MG also announced that the ZS EV will now be available in 31 cities, up from the earlier 21. Here's a list of all the new cities covered.
The 2021 ZS EV's arrival was followed by an update to the Hector and the Hector Plus. Both the cars now get an 8-step CVT paired with their 1.5-litre petrol engine.
The CVT will be offered only in the top two variants, Smart and Sharp, with the prices starting at 16.52 lakh rupees ex-showroom India. Interestingly, prices of the CVT are identical to the petrol DCT variants that remain on sale.
Entering the fiercely competitive Royal Rumble of the sub-4 meter SUV segment is the Renault Kiger, and now we know its launch date too.
Renault will announce the Kiger's prices on February 15th. It's expected to undercut the Nissan Magnite and at the same time offer a bit more than its platform sibling like an AMT and an extra pair of airbags. This could essentially make it the most affordable offering in the segment, at least in the initial days.
Jaguar's first electric car, the I-Pace, is coming to India on March 9, 2021. It will lock its very expensive horns with the Mercedes EQC and the upcoming Audi e-tron. Let's see what it has in store for us.
The I-Pace will feature a 90 kWh battery pack and dual electric motors with a combined output of 400 HP of power and 696 Nm of torque. The claimed range is 470 km per charge, and the all-electric Jag is also claimed to be capable of a 0 to 100 sprint in 4.8 seconds. The India spec I-Pace will be sold in three variants, S, SE and the top spec being HSE. Matrix LED lighting, fixed glass roof, PV Pro dual screen infotainment display, adaptive cruise control and connected tech are some of the standout features.
And since we're on the topic of EVs, Audi has also unveiled its e-tron GT, which can be had in a regular and an RS version.
The e-tron gets dual motors, one on each axle, and has a combined power output of 475 HP and 630 Nm of peak torque. The rear motor uses a 2-speed transmission with shorter gear ratios for the first, allowing explosive acceleration from the outset and longer ratios for the second one to give better efficiency and high-speed performance. It can clock 0 to 100 kmph in 4.1 seconds. The more hardcore RS on the other hand puts out 598 HP of power and 830 Nm of torque. It zips from a standstill to 100 kmph in just 3.3 seconds. Both the variants of the e-tron feature an overboost mode, which raises the power output to 530 HP and 646 HP respectively. There's no WLTP range yet, but Audi estimates 488 km for the regular variant and a slightly lower 472 km for the RS. You can gather more about the new Audi by heading to Autocar India website.
If you were one of those affected by the lengthening waiting period for the new Mahindra Thar, then we have some good news for you.
Mahindra has decided to amp up the production for the Thar to meet the rising demand for its 4x4. The Thar has clocked nearly 40,000 bookings so far, but Mahindra was having production issues on the account of steel and semiconductor shortages, which pushed the waiting periods to almost 10 months in some cities.
The two-wheeler space was also ripe with new launches and product announcements, and here are their highlights.
Exactly 1 year after its initial launch in Bengaluru, TVS has now introduced its electric scooter, the iQube, in Delhi. Its on-road price in the national capital after the FAME 2 and state subsidy comes out to 1.08 lakh rupees. The iQube is good for 78 kmph of top speed and 70 km of range per charge. TVS will also set up a supporting charging ecosystem in Delhi for buyers. You can check out a full review of the iQube on the Autocar India website and YouTube channel.
And for 2021, Royal Enfield has refreshed the Himalayan with an update to its design and features.
The Himalayan gets a new pine green, mirage silver and granite black shade, along with the tripper navigation that stems from the Meteor 350. In addition to this, there is a new windscreen and the metal frame mounted on the tank is now more forward set. The updated Himalayan is priced at 2.01 lakh rupees or about 10,000 more than before.
Yamaha India has also rolled out minor upgrades for its entry-level motorcycles FZ and the FZS. Part of the addition is the new side stand engine cutoff function.
Both the bikes are 2 kg lighter than before at 135 kg, but the reason for the same hasn't been specified. The FZS gets Bluetooth connectivity as standard, a 3D logo on the tank along with a new matte red color. The FZ retails for almost 1.04 lakh rupees, while the FZS will set you back by rupees 1.07 lakh ex-showroom Delhi.
Triumph Motorcycles India has expanded the Tiger lineup with the launch of the 850 Sport, which is priced at 11.95 lakh rupees ex-showroom Delhi.
The road buyer's Tiger 850 Sport gets the same 888cc liquid-cooled 3-cylinder engine as the 900 range. However, it's watered down here to pump out 85 HP of power and 82 Nm of torque. The engine comes paired to a 6-speed gearbox with a slip and assist clutch, but you can also opt for a quick shifter. It gets rain and riding modes that alter the power delivery and the traction system depending on the surface you're riding on.
And we've saved the most exciting news for the last. The third gen Suzuki Hayabusa, which was recently unveiled, is coming to India in the second quarter of 2021 through the CKD route.
However, it will be priced significantly higher than its predecessor, with a sticker price expected in a range of 17 to 18 lakh rupees. Immediately identifiable as a Hayabusa, the Gen 3 model shares its 1340cc 4-cylinder engine with its predecessor, though the power characteristics have been redone entirely.
And that was our time on this edition of Autocar India Quick News. Which of these news was the highlight for you? Let us know in the comment section below. If you liked this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. Thank you so much for watching.